Good morning campers, Gary here from Cross Camping, Inflatable Tents Online.co.uk. Very quick video about a subject that some people do mention, and that's a kink in the beam. Now, just before I talk about that, this is a drive-away awning. Could be any manufacturer, could be a tent, doesn't really matter. And don't be put off by the water that's inside there. As you can see, the door is wide open. We had a horrendous storm yesterday, and yeah, you know, if you leave the door wide open, it's going to fill up with water. So, how to fix the dreaded kink? Well, it could be a number of reasons. It could be just slackening off the guy rope. It's too tight. Let's do that. And just bring it to what I call taut, not tight. Straight away, it's a million times better. It could also be that the beam is too soft, which is the case here. We need to just pump that up a bit. Also, what you can do is, you see the zip there? The zip that's on the sleeve, not the zip that's on the actual tube itself. You can undo that zip. Let's have a go. Okay. And again, you can see that kink there, but the beam is way too soft. But what often happens is, when you pack the tent away, the beam can shift in its sleeve. Let's go outside. So if you imagine the beam is up and around and there, but it could have just shifted over an inch or two, maybe an inch or so, too far one way. So you can undo that zip that I've just unzipped and just shift the beam a little bit one way or other and adjust it in there. But 99% of the time it's because the beam hasn't got enough air in it, or the guy ropes are pulling out too tight, or as I say, just jiggling that little bit. So those three things, and it's sometimes one of them, sometimes it's a combination. But you got to remember, tents with poles, obviously you're putting the poles in and out each time. Beams, well, they just sit there, they just sit inside the tent. So, you know, every so often they do need a little bit of adjustment, maybe even from brand new out of the factory. So just take that into account. It's not a difficult thing, but just make sure you get the beams at the right pressure. And yeah, just sometimes they need to be seated a little bit better, but they can just shift slightly in the tube, in the sleeve of the tent. Anyway, that's Gary from Cross Camping, Inflatable Tents Online.co.uk. Cheers.